Okay, so YouTube is working now. I can see I am live on YouTube and it shows up. That's grand. And then if I go back to Twitch, it does show that I am in fact live on Twitch. So I'm still live here. So now I'm live in both places. Okay, so that fixes that problem. I assume they're both transmitting at about 3K kbps, I assume. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Because it grabs, the plugin grabs from this, and so yeah, they're both 3K, 3000 kbps, that's fine. I know it could be higher for YouTube, but there's no need. So it seems like I can see the stream on Twitch. So I must be live on Twitch, I assume. Let's see here. I would like chat. Unfortunately, I can't pull it up in any other way other than to look at my own chat through my own stream. I'm also feeling marginally better. So I'm starting to improve a little bit in terms of my ailment. We're just gonna pop this out. So I'm gonna pause that. Now I should have my chat box. Boom. All right. Oh, this is not live. No, it is. Okay. Oh. So I guess I am logged in to Twitch. That's interesting. If we go here though, what is this? Oh, that's appeals.twitch.tv. So if we just go to twitch.tv, surely, oh, gotta move the keyboard over. Boom. Surely. Okay, yeah. Doesn't make any sense. You can take a peek at what I'm doing. So I'd rather use this chat, right? Naturally. I can close that one now. And I can also close this one. Okay. Problem solved. I don't know what the heck that was, but it was something. I still don't know if I'll be able to sign in on my Windows 7 machines, but it's not a problem. I will have another means of getting the chat. Yeah, at some point when I get to it. All right. For a second there, I thought Twitch was like unhappy with some things I said. You know, they've got bots just like reviewing content, probably flagged it as like, you know, I don't know what it would even flag it as. It wasn't like inappropriate. It was just too real, I guess. You know, because the internet's kind of fake. It's just like a fake reality that has very little to do with the real world in general. And so when these two things are at odds, you know, that's called a conflict. And the internet isn't very good at dealing with conflicts. So feel better, but I'm not totally better. Alright, let's see. I don't remember if I came to a decision on this machine, but oh boy. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So obviously the local stream, right, can't run Windows 10, has to run Windows 7. Is going in the basement and is never leaving. I'd really rather not take it apart, pull parts from it for the other stuff, or move it, or anything like that. I'd like to leave it there. Because it's also just going to be the computer that I use when I'm working down in my basement on stuff, you know? So it kind of just needs to be there and consistent. It doesn't need to be very powerful, of course, which is why I think this Core 2 Duo here is definitely the move. I think the 40 gigabyte hard drive is also the move. But this power supply I used is pretty nice. I mean, it's, you know, nice in quotation marks. It's functional. It's very functional. And I don't really need a graphics card in this machine either. Right, so I could instead put other things in here. I wonder if I should buy another C127. So I'm gonna have 3 capture cards across a bunch of different systems. But yeah, modifying this one is difficult because it's small, right? I'm constrained to that case, and it really it has to both have an SSD and run Windows 7, which is a tricky balance to strike. This one's too big. The CPU cooler just is actually no. It might. I think this would fit actually. I think this would fit. It would be better, you know, more powerful. More cores, more modern. I'm also not sure if I want to waste it though. That's the other thing. Because I think the chip that's in there now is fine. That being said, it's funny, the original purpose of that machine there, you know, I keep pointing at this computer. The original purpose of that machine there, this machine here, was originally to be an emulation box. Minus the touch screen and the mounts, just this computer. I was gonna have it under a TV, right? I had that 7th Gen i3, and some mid-tier, like, you know, it's like an R7 250, like nothing crazy, you know, just a half-height, low-power display output that can go out to, that has analog out, you know. So I was going to use it as an emulation station around the house, but yeah, I just ended up putting it here. I really want to use this, but I can't because it's not, because the PC, those, yeah, there's something's up. I don't know if it's the cable, I don't know if it's the controller. Well, actually, I know I tested both controllers. It's either the cable. Well, no, actually, it could be both controllers. If the controller is non-standard, if that header on the inside is non-standard, then obviously the panel's not the same. It powers up though, right? Because you can see that power and ground are in the right spot. I made sure of that at least before plugging it in. No, I didn't. If those were in the wrong spot, I would have cooked it. That would have been funny. It wouldn't have been funny. Would have stunk. Either way, the computer just cannot see that device when it's plugged into that port. I can't plug anything into that port actually on the back of that FireWire card. But this guy, on the other hand, the PCI one does in fact work. Problem is I can't put a PCI card in this motherboard, and I also don't have a half-height PCI FireWire card either. This one is half-height, but it has a full-height bracket. See my conundrum? Feels like a shame to waste this power supply and that graphics card in this system. That's just not going to do much. Unless I did end up actually using it for other things. But I mean, I was also even just considering using a thin client there. You know? But the problem with the thin client... Let me put this camera back so you can watch me walk around and yap. Problem with the thin client is that I can't connect cameras to it. Right, and I need that microscope camera to go to something. And of course it's got its own driver. Man, what a headache. What a headache. Lots of different options, but all the different options have like caveats. There's no guaranteed good solution. Everything's like, this would work, but then this problem arises, and there's no good solution for it. Or I could do that, but then I have to deal with this other thing, right? And I've kind of already spent a lot of money on stuff, so I'm not really trying to just go spend more money when I have tons of computers all over the place. Like, I should be able to make something work. The problem is that I'm constrained in annoying ways, and not sure what to do about it. Some of these, it's pretty dang obvious what's going to happen. Like some of the boards I have, like I already know that I can't use it for anything, right? But other things I just like don't really have a use for, but could use it. But it seems like a waste to use this board and this CPU, right, just to stream one FireWire camera over the network, and then nothing more, right? That's really all it would be doing. Why is that all it would be doing? Because technically I could get away with just using a thin client. And the thin client would actually, in my opinion, be the better solution, except for the fact that it can't deal with the camera. Oh. My original plan was to just connect the camera to this guy. Except, it has its own driver. Which means I use the driver on the card itself, which means all it can do is operate that one camera. That one lousy stinking camera. Which means I need to have another card for the other cameras. But actually, apparently, it's difficult to have more than one of these cameras plugged into a single controller. So, like, basically every single camera I have needs its own controller. And I have 3 controllers and 5 cameras. Now, I don't really see myself using more than 3 cameras at a time, obviously. Yeah. But you know what I could do? You know what I could do? I really do like the idea of being able to stream from something else. I don't think I ever would, but having the option is nice. In which case, I would need a graphics card in this machine, right? Because I would want it to do encoding, when this CPU just would not be able to keep up with that. So I'd use a GPU for streaming, and nothing else practically. And you know, that frickin' 1650 would probably do a good job. Right? Because with this guy, I wouldn't have to do any software encoding. It would just be NVENC. Boom. NVENC. Boom. So actually, and it has no additional power taps, which means I can put in a real loser of a power supply in this box, and that'd be chill. Alright. So, but that also means we can't have, there wouldn't be any room. I mean, there would be room for a C127 capture card. However, I'd rather have two FireWire cards, honestly. You know, because this guy's not, the only reason I have a capture card would be to stream something I'm working on, and, I mean, most of the stuff I'll be working on down there would be, S-Video component, right? Honestly, I think it would just be easier to use this dongle when I need it downstairs, and then just not have a capture card in this machine at all. Because I wouldn't be capturing anything digital, right? Nothing HDMI would ever plug into it, ever. VGA, maybe if I were working on like a desktop computer down there. But realistically, I'd only ever be working on a desktop computer up here, because there's just not enough space on my electronics workbench for that. Oh, that's right though. The scope, my oscilloscope, is it runs Windows 95, and it has a VGA out. And I was gonna use the capture card so I could capture the oscilloscope output and then send it out. Just like shoot it right out to the internet, very easily. But now, in order to stream the oscilloscope output, I would have to have that machine down there. And I would be limited to, but if I put the capture card in here, then I'd be limited to one FireWire card, which means I'd be able to only have one camera when I would need two. But I mean, I think reasonably speaking, I will have this machine down in the basement if I'm streaming down in the basement. I feel like that's almost a guarantee at this point. But if that's the case, then I would rather just stream off of this one instead of this one, right? But I guess maybe just having options, just like always having options, might be a good thing. It might just be nice to like have options. You know? So chucking this dude in here and just like letting it rot in here would be probably just fine. I don't even know what you mean by that. Best viewers. Best viewers. Best viewers. Best viewers. Shut up, bot. Freaking robot. You'd think Twitch would know how to deal with that, but I guess there's really nothing you can do. Oh, maybe I could I farm followers like that if in order to chat you had to be following? So then like the bots would like not be able to send messages, but then they'd follow me and then send their spam message, and then I'd delete their message, but then they'd still be followed, right? Potentially? Yeah? No, maybe? I think it'd work. I think that'd be funny. But then I'd just have a bunch of followers who are bots, and no one's gonna follow me just to send a message, right? So it would, at the end of the day, not be useful, really. At least for my purposes, it wouldn't be useful. If I were trying to make money doing this, it would be useful. Okay. I don't know how else to get the oscilloscope. The oscilloscope output to the stream other than the capture card. You know what? Let's poke around eBay, my favorite website. I scooped up one of these for like 30 bucks. I mean, there's like a bunch of them. New, $200? What's wrong with you? No bracket. Yo, I could use that, because I have brackets. Look at this, look at this. See? He's like, no bracket. C199? Oh, what's this guy? What's this guy all about? C199? Stop. Oh, wait. No. C127. That one's already 22 bucks, yo. Oh, this thing's straight from China. I wonder how well it works. Wait, what? 1080p 30 hertz? What are you freaking talking about, bro? And then images that have nothing to do with anything. They have nothing to do with anything. Yeah. I hate the internet. Anyway, this is NTSC, or it's not real. So I don't know where they're getting this from. Obviously they don't know what they're talking about, and they just like, you know how it goes, right? But it's kind of funny because it's not like they're lying. I mean, so they're lying, right? They're liars, right? This is just a blatant lie. But the problem is nobody really cares anymore, you know, and nobody's really even looking at this, right? And so we just live in it's just kind of weird. You know? It's just like... Yeah, I don't know. What is this thing? This thing looks crazy. SDI input output. That thing's nuts. ASI, SDI. I still really don't understand what SDI is. I think the idea is it's a display, but I don't know if it's primarily a capture card. Like your capture, I mean, it says input output, so I guess it's highly configurable in a way. But what's the, I don't know what, oh, SDI. What is SDI? What is the SDI? Or is it a, what is, I don't know if it's a protocol or not. What is SDI? Teach me. Serial digital interface. Uncompressed, unencrypted digital video signals over coaxial cables. Tell me more about this serial digital interface. So this one here is Chinese junk. You know how I know? It's because there's a bajillion of them on eBay. And it's like all that, right? Mixed in with the useless ones, right? Like this guy, like, Like, you just can't. Like, this is just not useful. You know? It's probably crazy expensive, but... Well, it probably was crazy expensive and was used in 2 different machines. And now it's just like... Well, I mean, if you need one, $30. Good luck using it. You know? Component output. Some of these things I just don't even know what you'd use for. This doesn't seem particularly useful for me. I mean, I think that one document the guy was saying this is good for like keeping signals in sync as you go through computers and the network and whatnot. Dude, what? These things just look nuts. It's just like, who knows what it's even for? Oh, that's weird. Oh, I see. So the front panel's removable. You wouldn't like slide out the whole card, but you'd pop the panel off, right? And then the card would just be mounted in the chassis still. I wonder if I just sent this guy a message and said, what the hell was this thing used for? I wonder if he'd respond. This one's expensive. See, this thing goes in a backplane. There's probably a bunch of these things. Oh, wait, with backplane. Oh, this is the backplane. Oh, that's not a backplane. That's a front plane. Presumably, right? What do you people do? That actually just might be the whole unit. Actually. Like, they just sell that component, and then you'd use that component in a system of your own. Right? Because, like, look at this. What's this? Right? It's just, like, the bare board. So I don't think they sell anything that this would mount into. I think, like... Oh, wait, no. Oh. What? What the fuck is that? That's nuts. I haven't... That's a terrible image. That's a terrible zoom. $288 BNC outputs per 6 units. And this thing would fit. I can't even imagine what this thing cost. You know it's expensive when you just like, you just can't even buy it. You have to like definitely just contact them. Like, I just can't even imagine, like... I mean, I guess I can imagine where you'd use something like this. You know? Eight outputs? That looks like a lot more than 8 outputs. What? Okay, I'm getting off track again. Getting off track again. I don't need any of this. I don't want any of this. This one's labeled as a C199. Like, they're not that expensive. Oh, this one's like from Italy. Not paying that much, obviously. So let's search for Evermedia C199. Sort by lowest. Bro, imagine trying to sell one of these on eBay for $300. Like, what world do you live in? It's like... I just don't even know. Look at that thing. Needlessly expensive. Yeah, this one's obviously... Oh, it's got the... Yeah, it's got the pin. Irrelevant images. Nice. Okay. Oh, okay. Not sure why those are there. I don't know why you're charging so much. Like, no one's... no one is... These must be, like, AI listings. You have to be an idiot to buy that. What the hell's this? No way, dude. Trump. Uh-oh. Is this political? Not the Trump camera. No way. Okay. What is this? I keep seeing this. Evermedia capture card. It's got like a, this one's got a cool shield on it. But I assume it's this, like, nearly the same product. This one is slightly different. It's like they don't even know what it is. Oh, C729. It's the only good part about Windows 10, right there. See what I did there? It's so nice. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't favorite it. Stop, remove. Okay. When I just do this, boom, and then it sizes accordingly. Oh, if only Windows 7 did that. If Windows 7 did that, I'd never look back. Alright, most of these I don't care about. Like, look, like, these are literally the same picture, right? And they're different sellers. Like, I don't know why we allow them to do this. You know, it's just kind of annoying. They literally bought eBay in a way that doesn't make any sense, actually, and is annoying. Right, but see, this one's got 100% positive. This one's a 97.8. So this guy, this listing, this one's gonna disappear soon. Right? See, this seller here, gonna go away. You see this 100% positive? Fake. It's not real. This is slightly more real, as people have been scammed into buying from this seller. You know? But eventually this seller is going to get taken off the market. You know? And it's easy for them to do because they just tap the API and then boom. Also, I don't know who's paying this much money for this junk, right? I mean, I guess they think that like businesses that rely on this stuff are gonna like they need this card specifically, and they're gonna pay $300 to get this card. Like that's what they're doing, right? I don't know if they realize what did you buy? Yeah, I don't know. Yo, look at this thing though. That thing looks a beast. It's a walkie-talkie. Whoa, it's got some problems apparently. Or maybe they're just showing the inside. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Oh, and then they do this annoying thing where they say it's located in the United States, and it's not. And you can kind of tell when they're just straight up lying, you know? So this guy here has no bracket. That's kind of silly, right? Make offer. Yes, yes. Sign me in. I'm glad it doesn't show my full phone number. Confirm. Well, that doesn't show my full email either. I would give you $20 for this. That's the best I got. I mean, there's no bracket. Declined. I would give you $25 for this. Declined. Oh well. See, this is like, yeah, that's from Italy already. Anyway, 127. There was another one that wasn't listed as anything. Oh, this guy's got the box, right? This guy's like, oh, no bracket and nothing. When I could pay the same, I can pay less and get one in the box with everything. And both brackets, mind you. I mean, I assume so, right? Yeah, it's got the one bracket, it's all brand new, right? I don't know when this was listed, but sometimes people just don't know how to sell things. That being said, I wouldn't. I actually bought one mostly brand new in the box for like $30 a couple months ago. So, I'd never pay that much. Yo, what's this? It's got a HDMI, but then a whole bunch of nonsense. But I assume it's. Oh, that's cool. $85 though? Nope. Nope. And then this one's brand new in the box for half the price. Oh, he's got a bunch of them. Looks like there's also some stuff missing. probably a better version of this card that does like more HD, more throughput of some sort. And there's this guy too. Look at that. That's an interesting idea. Finally, I get that someone shows a picture of the front panel. So it's HDMI and then just AV in, where they just used an HDMI. I mean, it's an interesting idea, right? Because now instead of having to procure two different ports, you just use the same one on your card. And you had to create an adapter cable anyway. So low profile is nice, but I wish it had that funky adapter. What is it? It's an H727. Let's ask. Let's ask me. What is this? Okay. This guy gets it. This guy knows. But I also could, in fact, just use FireWire. You know? Just use, I could buy a FireWire device that converts, the sources I want to the destination I need. So let's do FireWire. Let's just start with converter. Okay. I shouldn't be surprised that that's what came up. ADC. Yo, that thing's wild. What? Wait, it's got 24 FireWire ports on the front and the back? It's amazing. It must be some sort of repeater. I cannot imagine ever using something like that. Untested parts only, lack of equipment and software. Oh, this is audio only. I guess I should have been able to tell. You know, I mean, it's freaking Roland. It's also like very obviously a piece of audio equipment. Yo, what? This thing's cheap. $15? And it's got a TI chipset. It's in somebody's cart. Here's the question though: does it adapt? Is that TI chip something that converts PCI to PCIe? Oh, probably not. That is old. It's fast. Whoa, no way. Alright, I suppose we can be slightly more specific. Firewire, and then let's say S-Video. S-Video. Yeah, that thing's kinda funky. What is this? I don't know about that chip. Oh wait, no, that's the Firewire. And then this is the S-Video. Terrible pictures. I don't know why people don't know how to list things on eBay. Like, you can't take slightly better pictures. I mean, I guess for $8, you know. There's some wonky hardware out there. Definitely not paying that much money. Bendino. So it's got one Firewire 400. It's got two S-Video. As, yeah, 4-pin mini DIN, which it should be. And then two composite video. I have drivers. Let's go. Let's see. Something of a fundamental flaw. Let's read about it. How does this guy know all this? He just knows. It's like crazy. Here we go. Just something a fundamental flaw in their hardware or device drivers. That means they cannot be used on PCs with more than 2 gigabytes of memory. That's crazy. Most PCI card Pinnacle solutions should be avoided. If this dude is gonna say all this and then also just drop like the most useful bits of information about what I'm looking for and then continue on with just like more like this dude, sometimes you can tell when people know what they're talking about. Because he's just got like statements. Boom, 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 boom. Hardware upscale capture is a myth that dies very hard. The less said, the better. Nice. So realistically, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I could really do anything. That's the thing, right? So like part of my workflow could be digital video, the other part could be analog. Pretty much most of my analog is going to be NTSC. Pretty much all of it. Right? With the exception of VGA sources, which could be like anything, but I have capture cards that will do a select number of resolutions. Right, and I have 2 of them actually. So I don't think I need another. I know one thing's for sure. This thing is $8 for a reason. This is the one I have, except mine's white. Oh, these are 100s. I have a 110. So it's all of them for parts of repair, eh? Not working. I don't know if I want to spend $50 in hopes I can repair something like that. I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, what? What? It's a breakout box for something else. Because the end of that cable is, like from this angle it looks like it might be FireWire. And then something. Yeah, it's for this card. This card probably has that, you know. Has the ability to accept this type of plug. Dual VGA S-video output cable. It's amazing. Oh, they might be expensive. Interesting. That's cool. Oh, these are graphics cards. Oh, these are... Oh, okay, so these are output cables, not input cables. Yeah, it's just a graphics card with a goofy output. But it's also got... They're not kidding. They're not kidding when they say all-in wonder. That is quite the lineup. Dude, they've got it like shoved all the way down there, just like on the nub. They got that shit on the nub. That's crazy. I'm not sure exactly what's input and what's output, you know? I mean, it's an AGP device. I can't really use this to begin with. I mean, I assume it's a graphics card, right? I just don't think it's gonna output. I don't think that's an output, for example. VidIO. So this might be input and output. Okay. I need to stop getting distracted by funny eBay things. But I can't help it. I'm just like I see something wonky and I click it. This looks more in line with what I'm actually looking for example. We got outputs, and then I assume those are inputs on the front. Once again, too much. Okay, we gotta clean up here. No, you were right. Yeah, this stuff is just kind of expensive. Oh. Okay. Why are you showing me sold listings? DC in, DV out. Okay. And that's, yep. So like something like this would work, right? Oh man, $60. $60. Ooh. That hurts. Mm. Man, I'm gonna have to go to work tomorrow, probably. I really need to, but I really shouldn't go if I'm sick, you know? Okay. Okay. So, in conclusion, not really much. This seems good. We'll do that. See what pops up. All right. $30. Same as this one, except with no cables, I assume. All right, let's see. I don't know if these are, I assume these are like these would be pass-throughs, right? I don't know if I don't exactly understand what's going on here. Windows 2000 DV camcorder. Windows 2000, and that doesn't make any sense to me. Why is 2000 and XP like so? 98 SE and ME are both they're both like old Windows, non-NT Windows, legacy Windows. Legacy Windows is a good term for that. But XP and Windows 2000 are both NT based. So for some reason there's something about Windows 2000 where I guess it's just not new enough, or it's not, I guess NT just didn't really get the kind of support it needed to handle this device until XP, and then XP can handle it the way the device expects to be handled. So here I am wondering what happens if I plug it into Windows 7, right? My assumption is that I would simply treat it like Windows XP, right? Assuming it works. Let's ask Google. So, because ideally on the like downstairs at the stream PC, oh, you know what? I forgot. I need to figure out how to get the oscilloscope. Oscilloscope output to the stream without just pointing a camera at the screen, of course. Oh, look at this. Okay, so we've got drivers somewhere. That's good to know. Replacement cables. Oh, what is this? I wonder if there's something missing from this, and that's why it's so cheap. Like, none of these cables seem a bit crazy, right? They're all pretty standard. I don't know what that is. Oh. It might just have to do with, it might just be the power supply. Yeah. All I could find online was it's 5 VDC looking for units on eBay. It came with that unit. This guy's funny. Alright, so this kind of makes sense. I generally I generally get what he's saying here. I had a feeling it would come down to, you know, nonsense like that. I'm just glad that I'm gonna use OBS to capture right there. Capture Slippy, the Slippy mirror on the same machine instead of trying to output that somehow. Because that was probably the biggest nightmare. What's nice about all these cameras is that they are all SD. Everything I have is SD. It's all NTSC, right? It keeps things simple. However, actually, I don't know what the microscope camera might be something different. Either way. No, actually, no, it is also SD. But I think it's progressive and not interlaced. These cameras will do progressive, but they'll do it at low FPS. You know, because they're television cameras. So it does it like, there's like a 24 option and then a 30 option. But I'd rather just go 480i interlaced. 480i 60, I mean. And then honestly, it would be cool to... it would be cool to forego FireWire to some extent. At least to as much of an extent as I possibly can. The reason I went with FireWire stuff is because I already had some FireWire stuff. And I was like, oh, well, this FireWire stuff is pretty cheap. Now I know why. It's because it's a pain in the ass. And... yeah. At least these cameras will do, like, normal video out. So I have that as a backup option in case this FireWire stuff starts getting under my skin. But the fact that these keep, like, going out of sync is mildly annoying. I don't want to have to keep checking for, like, how much latency there is between what shows up on my camera and then what finally makes its way to OBS. So I'm not even talking about stream latency. I'm just like when I move my mouse here, right, it's like instant. You actually can't see my cursor. It's not instant, actually, I'm sorry. I think oh, that's right. It used to be instant when I was running it through the capture card. But now I'm running it over the network. Yeah. So there's a little bit of latency, but then this camera goes right into the FireWire card. And there's even more latency than that, even though it's a direct connection. Something about the caching, something about the way frames are digitized on the cameras themselves. There's just, like, the digital video out on these ports is just behind by a considerable amount. And then I'm not even sure what the processing on the actual FireWire controller is like. But a lot of these are just too expensive, too much. It's FireWire 800 even. I think what I might do is I might pull this, I'm going to pull this DVC out of this unit, and I'm going to park it just probably downstairs. Well, I'm not, oh, well, that's the other thing, is that I'm not only going to be streaming NTSC signals on my electronics workbench. I'm also going to be doing that in other places too. So I kind of need it there anyway. What I really need is a. I really just need a PCA. That's really what I need, but I can't buy any of these because they're trash. Oh, what? That's nuts. Look at this. That is very interesting. Huh. That's a way to do it. That's very application specific. Oh, it's $10. It's an OEM card. It's got a VIA chipset though. But it is low profile and PCIe and cheap. I can probably run a camera through it. But this board, it's kind of out of space for stuff. Another thing I've considered is the fact that this machine has, it's got that R7 250 in it. I think it's like a 250 or a 350 or something like that. I can't remember. But OBS can't use it to stream, and I'm not sure exactly why. I haven't really looked into it, but for some reason it doesn't really seem to be used necessarily. It's putting such a high load on my CPU that I think it's just software rendering. But it isn't exactly apparent. Yeah, so the output is using a software encoder, X264, but whenever I've tried to change it, it doesn't give me any options to. It just only gives me that option. Suppose I could ask Google. We'll just pretend it's an R7 250 because that's close enough. Used for OBS encoding. Oh, that's weird. Auto detect driver. I think so. Like the CPU in this one's pretty good. It can do software encoding just fine. But honestly, if I could use a graphics card in this system to handle encoding, I could cheap out on the CPU. caffeine. It's good. So, theoretically, it should be possible. But I'm also just wondering, if I'm not even using it, like I could. Oh, actually, I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't do analog. So my touchscreen monitor is analog only. Wait. Yeah, VGA only. So I need an analog. I need a card with an analog out because this board does not have an analog out. It's too new for that. But if I got an older board, well, no, if I got an older board with an older CPU with analog out, then I'd probably have to include a graphics card anyway because the CPU would be would not be good enough. Yeah, it's tricky. So I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave the DVC in this system because I want it there. I wouldn't be adverse to just leaving the 7th Gen i3 in this system because that's easier. It just seems like I'm wasting hardware. Like, I don't need both the powerful processor and the... When I say powerful, obviously, it's like in context. This 7th Gen i3 is one of the more powerful processors I've got. In terms of like hardware that's just laying around. Well, I also do have this guy. I don't know what this one is, to be honest. I kind of want to know what this one is, because if it's like a Ryzen 3 and it's like not as cool as I think it is, then it totally changes what I might do with this board. Probably should not have unscrewed it like that, but oh well. AMD or Ryzen? Which one is looks like a 2600. 2600, huh. That's, it's honestly about what I was expecting, to be honest. I was thinking 2nd or 3rd gen. But it is also it's a 400 series board, so 2nd gen makes sense. But also technically that series of board does support 3rd gen. But of course these were all new parts whenever this system was put together, so second makes the most sense. I do have a 1700X, which would be cool for like having a bunch of cores. But I mean, I don't know what I'd use that many cores for. You know? I also do have a box of motherboards in the basement. I should probably take a look through. I think most of them don't really work very well, but we'll see. Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot I have these ones. Although this one might be junk. I'm not entirely sure. See, we got this one. What else do we got? This one's FM2. Quad core. Yeah, sometimes having too many options is a bad thing, especially when you're as indecisive as I am. So here's what we'll do. We're gonna stop being so indecisive. These are too expensive. We are gonna save this search though, in case something pops up, because it's always good to have more. It's always good to have backups, and also I think it would be really helpful to just have a machine with another one of these. I'm trying to solve too many problems at the same time. I really need to just focus on the event. That's what I need to do. Let's oh, this is one of those. Yeah. It's kind of weird looking. It's funny looking. Oh, this is the one I've got in the PC now, actually. It works pretty well. It's not PCIe, though. That's the other thing I hate about all the Chinese sellers, is that they flood, right? Like, this should be one listing, you know? But it's funny, like, the moment, I wish people would stop buying stuff like this. I wish people were smart. I wish people had brain left in their heads. When you see this, when you see two listings with the same exact pictures and minute price differences, you never buy from them, ever. Because you don't support business practices like this. Never, right? And also, this stuff's junk. You know why? These are all junk. Because it's a VIA PCI chipset with a PCIe to PCI adapter. That just sounds like a nightmare, right? This is all in the realm of theory, right? They made this device because they had all these chips sitting around doing nothing, and so they said, let's take a PCB with PCIe by one fingers and with some of these ports on it, and then we'll just connect all the lines, right? Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, right? I guarantee you, for 99% of applications, this thing doesn't function, you know? Or if it does, it's just like performance is pitiful, you know? Like, now we're getting somewhere, right? But it's still just like a Chinese seller, and it's like, I don't know what I'm looking at. What is it? You know? usage scenario. Like, they don't even know. You put it in the computer. That's the usage scenario. It goes in a computer. That's all they know. They don't know anything about what it is. They don't even know what you're going to use it for. They just had cheap parts and they're trying to make money. New old stock trash. You can't tell what the controller is. It's not a TI, guaranteed. Oh, it's the same one, but it's got the half-height bracket. That'd be useful if I put a board with a PCI slot in there, but I probably won't. I don't think so. What do those other boards have? Where did I put those? I'm not sure if this board actually works. Got this from a friend after he upgraded his system. This is just a pre-built board. A bunch of PCIe, which is nice. And then two M.2 slots. It is also full size, which is nice. I like it when my micro ATX boards are square and not rectangular. It means that you get all the screws, and makes it easier to plug and unplug the 24 pin. Makes it a little bit easier. Just a little bit. Actually, no, considerably easier, I would say. I'm not as worried about damaging the board when I start yanking on it. Let's see what's in here. Because, like, honestly, what is it, a B360M? B360M, yep. That might support 8th and 9th gen Intel. Honestly, let's see. B360M. 151. Oh, supports 8th gen. That's not what I want. Give me... I suppose I could just look at exactly what this board is to know if it's going to support CPUs. However, this is kind of a funky looking board. It's like CyberPower branded, so it went in a pre-built. But it does say B360M Extreme with an ASRock logo. So, Extreme ASRock. 8th and 9th gen. Now I'm curious. What's in here? That being said, I don't really know if this board works or not. There we go. That had a pretty good paste spread. I always like rating the paste spread anytime I take off a cooler, because it's like, because one time I took a CPU cooler off. I actually have it right here. This is a system that one of my friends was upgrading, and this is how his CPU cooler paste looked when we took his cooler off. See how it was making zero contact with the processor? Yeah, that's crazy. So I still have it, because I think it's funny. Well, actually, it's funny. I tried using that same cooler on a board, because I was like, oh, this has fresh paste. I'll just use this one, because it's all ready to go. And then I took it off, and the paste was still like that. So I don't know if there's like a defect with this. I think this cooler is defective somehow. Like the tolerances on this cooler are just not built correctly. I don't know what's up with it, but something's... This cooler might be for like a very specific generation of Intel processors, where the mounting tolerances are just different. Because you can kind of see that where this bump comes down. I mean, you probably can't see it from on the camera, but one is in fact shorter than the other. It could be just a defective cooler, possibly. Just a manufacturing defect, like whoops. Oh, I need a paper towel so I can see what chip this is. It is a 9400F, 9th Gen i5. I don't even know what that one is. It might be the same. That's funny. Yeah, that's the problem. Sometimes I forget, like, where these parts come from, and so I don't remember if I was just upgrading someone's build and I got a free board out of it, or if their system was trash, right, like it wasn't working. I troubleshooted it, and I determined, you know, here's the problem, what do you want to do about it? And they say, well, I want to get a new PC anyway, right? It's like, this board could have been the problem. I don't know. I think the only time I misdiagnosed someone's computer was that board with the cooler that I showed you, where eventually it just couldn't handle it anymore and the system was just crashing, and I couldn't figure out why, and I was like, yeah, it must be like this, like the CPU or the GPU. But it was probably just the fact that the cooler was never cooling the CPU, and it just finally gave out. I mean, I have a feeling that CPU was probably trash anyway, considering it was working for several years with no with no cooling. You know, just clocked all the way down as low as it could go. So functional, but hardly. But this one, I don't remember. Do not remember at all. You know what I could do, though? You know what this guy would do? This guy would be a network streaming device. right? One FireWire camera and a capture card for the scope, and that's all it would do. That could in fact be the way forward. So it's nice and small and out of the way. But I've got plenty of space down there, so you know, I don't really mind. Of course, you know, the thing about having the game the thing about having the GameCube on main stage as opposed to just like a Wii where Slippy can just mirror is the fact that when I run literally any other game, network streaming is not an option, and so I would in fact need a capture. I have to have a capture card there anyway because I need to be able to see what's going on for literally any other game, right? Something else I've considered is the fact that if I decide to run, you know, 2 different consoles on main stage, right, where let's say doing Double Dash and I've got 2 consoles in LAN play, for, right? It's like, well, now I need to capture 2 consoles. How do I do that? Well, I need 2 capture cards, right? All right, I'm Alright, oh man. So I ended up just going, I said I was gonna go think about it, but what I meant by that is I'm actually gonna go cough up a bunch of mucus in the sink. So that's what I did. And yeah, I'm just tired. It's like, I have the day off, right? Because I can't go to work when I'm sick. Because if I get other people sick, and then they can't go into work, then it just like, so, you know, it's a cascading failure. And that's not good. So, but yeah, like I just can't even do. What I mean by that is I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that I can't go to work by doing other things, but I am just not all here, and it's hard. So I'm trying to come up with a complicated solution. And my brain doesn't want to do complicated solutions right now. I forgot this thing's on. See, this thing's very quiet for me, but I think what I noticed is when it's running, I feel like it was kind of adding to the noise. Yeah. That air purifier was above the noise, it was the noise floor, but now it's much lower by like 2 decibels, something. Yeah, look at this. Supports DDR4 2666. Okay. $11. Oh, I thought I was talking. That's funny. Okay. Oh boy. Like, I want to put a board in this that has a PCI slot. That's just the thing. Ow. Ships from Arlington, Texas. But it's made in China. And you know what this controller here does? PCI to PCIe. Guaranteed. At least they call it out, like. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's an adapter. I might just order a bunch of these just so I have them. You know, just to have them. This is what I have. This is what I bought two of. Well, I bought one of these and then I got sent a second one because that first one was not really functioning. But I bought one of these because it has this internal header. The internal header just does not work. I don't know what to do about that. I think it's just wired differently. It's wired for use in an HP case. So. But like, these things are so cheap. You know? It's an LSI controller. But it is PCI. Which is not as ideal, but, you know. Oh, this thing looks reasonable. Oh, it's got 2 TI chips on it. What do people say about this guy? It's pretty cheap. Bad. Doesn't have any internal headers, unfortunately. I mean, it does have this, which is not populated. Oh. Oh, there's a couple of them. That one's 25. This one is 12. I mean, that's just low profile, but... It's a better picture. TSB... 2. OB26. That's the host controller. Okay. There you go. And then this guy. 41AB3. 41AB3. Interface IC. Oh, this is I mean, for the price and the fact that it's all TI chips, right? Okay, with a line layer controller. That's a word I don't know. I guess in the FireWire context. Physical layer chip. I mean, I might just get it for the price alone, you know? Because it is a card, like, even if it only works with, like, even if it realistically only works with one device at a time, which is kind of what I expect from most of these to begin with anyway. And, you know, it's practically half the price of this guy, which is basically the exact same controller. Pretty much, exactly. Looks a little nicer, but I don't care. Don't care about that. No, that is not PCI Express. People are funny, you know? They don't even, they just, I don't know. This guy gets a pass because it's $12 for free shipping, so, like, obviously this person has absolutely no idea what this thing is. They're trying their best, you know? But some people will mislist things, and they'll be like, $40, please. And it's like, who are you selling to? I don't know. You know, if you ask them, they literally wouldn't have an answer to that question. They don't know who they're selling to. They have no idea. That's why they listed it for $40, because they literally have no idea. And they probably didn't even try to, like, check to make sure that they didn't just waste their time listing on eBay when there's like a billion of these things, and everybody is sorting by price lowest. Right? It's like, if you want to actually sell something and not waste your time putting up an eBay listing to have it sit there for the rest of eternity, you need to either know what it is or know who your audience is. I think no, I will actually know, because knowing who your audience is implies you know what it is. So I should say you either, what's a good way to put that? You either know what it is and know your audience, or you know neither of those things, but you know how to just, like, sort by price and say, I'm going to list mine as the cheapest, even though I'm totally clueless as to what this is or who's buying it, which is what you can see with this, right? $12 free shipping. You know, it's one of the cheapest ones on here. However, I don't know what that chip is, so I probably would avoid it. Again, like, most of these are pretty cheap. guess no one has anything to say on it. It's either PCI and has everything I want on a card, or it's PCIe and it's trash. And I think the reason for that is just because there are not many PCIe FireWire controllers that also have, you know, what I want on them. But if we sort highest first, junk. I mean, I don't even think there's really anything for sale in that realm. I mean, this is PCI, you know? Huh. Of course, I also need a low profile bracket. That's the other thing. Okay. Oh boy. I don't know, I think maybe pushing myself to do this is a mistake. I probably should just go to bed or something. I should, but I don't really want to. I'm also a little worried, so that's the other problem. I mean, I guess I'm not super worried. I'll be able to, like, I have what I need to make something happen. It just won't be like the way I want it, I guess. You know, as long as something happens at the event, that's all that really matters. Even if it's not as cool as I initially envisioned in my mind. I should be able to get pretty close though. But yeah, like I think the problem is I have a lot of hardware and I need a convenient way to control it all. But I'm using fairly cheap and inconvenient means of controlling it all. That's the problem, right? So of course, the other thing is that I would like to be able to stream the contents of both main stage machines. I mean, like, straight up, I could just emulate, you know? That's the other thing, I could just emulate it. I can, because I've got two PC CRTs. I just get two graphics cards, boom boom. Right? Type 1 hypervisor, GPU pass-through. Bam. Right, and then each one just streams on the network. That would be really easy. But I feel like it would kind of defeat the purpose a little bit. I don't know, it just wouldn't be as, I mean, it'd still be cool, but it wouldn't be as cool, you know? And besides, I already have all these Wiis, you know? But yeah, I guess the problem is just streaming both of them. Oh, you know what? It would also require a second distribution amplifier because I'd have to send the output to the display and to the capture card. So I don't think that's just really I don't think it's gonna work. Specifically for when I have two consoles on main stage, for two CRTs, two consoles. Unless I just bought, I mean, like, the distribution amplifier is not that expensive, you know? I mean, it's got component and composite on it, right? Like, that shit's cheap, you know? Like nobody wants it anymore. It's probably a couple $100 brand new, but it's just old tech. And no one's paying $200 for that. So, I think I paid like $20 for mine. I could just buy a second one, honestly. But I mean, obviously, it's too late. It's too late at this point to buy anything. I'm kind of stuck with what I've got, and I've thought ahead, and I've bought pretty much everything I'll need. You know, I've got everything for the most part. I just got to sort of figure out a good way to put it all together. Which is hard when you're sick. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this. I figured out why Nintendo wasn't being picked up by the Wii's. It's because the DAW file is called loader.dal, but it needs to be called boot.dal. That's the problem. So, naming convention thing, just, it was named wrong, so I just gotta rename it. So I'm not going to be able to capture the both devices, but it would be... I don't know, maybe... I mean, I'm probably not going to stream anything on Sunday. It's probably just Saturday for the Melee tournament, and then after that I'm just going to tear out all the streaming stuff, probably. However, I would still like to have it up on this big screen, right? I still want to have stuff on the projector. And for a game like Double Dash specifically, where you can LAN play, it just doesn't make sense to have two CRTs with the same thing on it, right? If you're gonna have two displays for two people, then you may as well have two consoles as well, right? What I could do, you know what? I could have a Switch. So like, you're seeing one, then you're seeing the other, then you're seeing one, then you're seeing the other. Oh, no, I couldn't. You'd still need a distribution amplifier. Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't, yeah, you know, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work at all. Oh, wait a minute. I just remembered. I have, I don't have to split component. I can split I was gonna say I can split VGA, but I don't think that would, wait, would that work? Okay, hold on. So I've got a Wii, I have a PC CRT, right? Wii outputs, yeah, I could, because the Wii's gonna output composite component. I always like mix the two up. I know the difference, I just say the wrong word when thinking about the other one. Wii outputs component to the transcoder, and then I split off, yeah, I just split off the transcoder. Yeah, that'd be fine. That would be A-okay. And that helps because I did originally buy two transcoders. Because originally the plan was that I was going to run to the stage with all the stuff and set up, which means I had two PC CRTs that I could just use, you know, to just have people use to play games before finals. But actually, I was just given a projector and a seating area, so I bought two of these, and I paid like $60 each, because they're nice. However, I only needed one. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I have a spare, whatever. But now it makes sense that I have two. So it went from being a good idea to buy two, to being a waste of money to buy two, and now back to being a good idea. And a necessary expense. The other thing I haven't figured out, though, is audio. I mean, I kind of have, but I kind of have, but I also haven't, because I don't have any amplifiers. I guess that's something, actually, that's something I should test right now. That's what I'll do. Right, I bought these silly little PC speakers, right? They are powered, so they've got USB, and they take a line in. So I was thinking I might need an amp for these, but actually I might not. So I'm going to have these in front of each monitor. So that way the people playing get audio, but then I'm also going to split probably just one of the setups. But I actually do want to make sure that this is going to work, because I haven't tested it yet. But if it does, then I'm in the clear. I'd probably just take audio from... no, that wouldn't make any sense, actually. I'd have to take audio from both and then switch it, right? what is going on here? They used like... They wrapped up each individual wire with a twist tie, and then they rubber banded them all together. But all that did was make it hard to get apart. It's probably not really necessary. Okay. So boom, boom. And then this will go back to... Yeah, like, I guess I could switch the audio. I feel like I'll have to switch the audio. I should just be able to... I just bought a lot of these. So it splits off to just RCA jacks, boom, like that. And then I'll just grab... Actually, I can turn this camera off. You're not going to be doing anything for a minute. And I'll use the cables I bought specifically for this purpose. Well, no, I don't feel like I don't want to unwind these just yet. Alright, I need to go find the cable. Yeah, I got a couple of these really short ones. I love, you know, there's something about a short cable that I just really like. You know? When it's like, you don't need to go from one place to the other, like distance-wise. You just need, right? It's not physical, it's logical. Right? You just need something quick. You don't want to deal with unwrapping and then rewrapping a cable. You just grab it, right? This thing, like, it doesn't wrap even if you try. It's just too short for that. It just sits like this. Always. It's great. I love them. Right? Especially when you're just doing a logical setup and not a physical setup. Right? Because it doesn't matter where everything is. It's just gotta work. So they're great for this sort of thing. I might actually end up using these cables at the event, to be honest, because they won't really need to be long. At least I don't think they'll have to be long. They shouldn't have to be long. Oh, this guy needs power too. I wonder if I could just power it right off the Wii. Imagine. I don't even have to really turn the TV on. I just need to hear the sound. That was kind of crunchy sounding. Oh, here's the big question. Can I start Melee without having a screen? Actually, this does enough of a sound test. honestly, these speakers are not half bad. It sounds way better than the speakers on my TV. It's kind of funny. So yeah, I should be able to just power them right off the Wii, like I am, which is sweet. It sounds a little bit crunchy though. I don't know. I mean, these speakers were very cheap. Like, these are the cheapest on eBay, actually. So it's probably not clipping necessarily. I think that's just the quality of the speaker coming through, actually. Yeah, okay. I think it's loud enough. Oh, that's clipping right there. Okay. Although, we're not really going to be listening to this necessarily. We're going to be listening to Melee. So let's see how Melee sounds. No, I'm going to plug in the TV at this point because I don't. Actually, no. No, I got this. No, I got this. Crap. That was not the right one. Alright. Let me see what's going on. Ouch. Oh, you know what? Also send that out here. Wow. But then I also need... Oh, that's right. I also need USB power for this. You know, I don't think I'm going to power the speakers off the Wii. I won't plan for that, actually. Because I already need 3 USB ports per Wii, which means I have to split power from somewhere. And if I'm going to do that anyway, I'm not going to do it off of the Wii, so... Yeah. I guess that settles that. I forget that this transcoder needs, it needs 5 volts. I'm just gonna use my laptop battery. Pull some power, get some 5 volts. And then there was that other cable. Where'd it go? Where did I put it? Oh. Cool, and then I literally should just be able to freaking like... Stream, okay. I gotta turn my TV volume down for this. Look at me doing completely optional things. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the level on the speaker and then I'm just going to like tape it down so it can't be changed. But honestly, no, it's because the environment will be different, so maybe I'll set it when I'm there. Yeah. Because it might have to be louder at the event to overcome the noise floor of, you know, a noisy carpet-free convention center. Alright, I'll be back again. Set this, like, I don't know, somewhere over here. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, so that works. That's cool. I really just hope my PC monitors hold up because yeah, I'm gonna have to test them. I'm gonna test them again beforehand, obviously. If it just randomly stops working though, I'm gonna be SOL. Not really. I've got other PC monitors, but they're just kind of crud. They're not nearly as nice as these ones, which is why I'd like to use both of these. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna... Oof. Oh. Where is this dude? There he is. I need a table. I need some tables. I should have plenty at the event. But I just need one or two more, like smaller ones. Why are you making me sign in again, bro? Stop. Here we go. Oh. Been drinking all this water. Probably low on electrolytes because of all the water I've been drinking. So I probably should have done this like yesterday. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but because I have a bunch of, electrolyte powder mix, so I just dumped some in a glass. Definitely the right idea. That's funny. Okay. So simply put, I need another. Here, I'll show you. I need another one of these freaking. I do need another one of these cards. I have to have another low profile one that functions. That's really all there is to it. I really wish that board had a PCI slot. Like, I feel like I gotta do something about that. I need a board in there that has a PCI slot. It's like the only way. But I put a board with a PCI slot in there, and it's like, you know. Then it's got a dog shit processor in it that is not gonna stream 720p 60, unless of course I can get this card to stream. Look at this thing. It's funky looking. It's funny how it's funny when the FireWire ports, like, they stick out of the card so much. I don't know why they do this. It's the only these are the only cards I've seen where the ports, like, stick out crazy far. Other than, like, you know, VGA and DVI, but that's just because, like, they're built to stick out like that. Because the connector has to go over it, so they have to stick out. This one, however, like, you can see on the port itself the lips on the end of it, because it's really supposed to be recessed. They designed the connector to be recessed, but all these cards have them poking out like that. I mean, not all of them, obviously, but, like, it seems fairly common with, like, the older cards, like the older, more pronounced cards like this, like something that was made literally 25 years ago. I don't know, they're just doing funky stuff 25 years ago, I guess. Here, let's fix our sort. Boom. Yeah, I think it has to be PCI. I just don't trust stuff like this. I'm not spending $30 on something that's, like, just not trustworthy. That's something that's obviously built kind of wonky. I mean, like, this is a StarTech product. This one's probably good, right? I mean, it's got a TI chip right on it, and it's PCIe, but it's $40, right? And it's also got two ports that are useless, right? I don't use FireWire 800, so I've got the one port, which is useful, and then but it actually doesn't have the internal port soldered on there, so it's useless. This can't help me, because I need something that also has the internal port, because I decided to mount this thing in here, which was the right approach, because it needed to be, like, connected to it anyway, and I just didn't really want to move it around, you know, especially since anywhere this guy is, that DVC is gonna be with it anyway. So the idea of, like, having to, like, plug it in and cable manage it was kind of annoying, when I could just pop it right there. So I still like that idea, but that means I now need a card that has an internal header. But you see, all the modern stuff, all the expensive modern stuff, they never solder it on. It's like, this would be, like, I could suffer with the fact that I'm never using these ports, because it has one port, which is all I'd ever use. And then, nope, not the internal port, though, so that doesn't help. You know, this one does not have an internal port. Too tall. No internal port, no internal port. This one has an internal port. PCI, no internal port. You get the gist. I'm yet to find... The only thing I found was that 1 HP card. This one right here. Right? This is the only one I could find where it's got a modern controller that is PCIe by... That is just like... it has a PCIe controller and is not a PCI controller being adapted to PCI. Right? And it technically has an internal header through this pin right here. Except the pinout's all wrong. I don't know what to do about it. I mean, I guess I could try to modify the cable I got. Keep rearranging the pins until I finally, you know, finally get it working. There's only 4 pins, you know. How do you determine the total number of configurations? You do 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So it would take me, at worst case, it would take me 24 iterations. 23 because one of those is already being implemented, right? I don't want to do that. Now this guy, does the guy have internal headers? We installed this product. Okay. It's not gonna work anyway. You know what? Hold on. R7. Hold on. Who is this guy? I'd like to know what this card is, because I cannot remember for the life of me what card this thing has. 350X. Okay. Slippy Performance. I mean, yeah. Just wondering if I actually run the Slippy replays off of this device here. And then I just plan to, oh, well, my CPU is struggling at the moment. That's the other thing. I prefer small form factor hardware, right? Because it's easier to move, especially for events where I'm already bringing a bunch of heavy TVs, right? Well, I mean, we're streaming right now, right? So let's, I don't have it installed, so we go to, and then we get Slippy. Boom, boom. Boom. hold on. In the way. Intel logs? Bro, go put your freaking logs somewhere else, dude. What was it? 2.6? Oh, it was from forever ago. So we can also delete that. And also links. Get rid of that crap. Favorites. Also just get rid of that too. But I think the favorites one, I think the favorites folder just comes back. Oh, the Intel folder just came back. No, did it? What? I thought I deleted that. Did I not just delete that? Delete. Yes. Oh, it won't let me delete it. How about you? Delete. And delete. Okay. And then delete. Figures. I don't think this is, I feel like this is not necessary, but I think this helps with like searching, right? So like when I type into search for something, it'll use this. So we leave this. Leave that alone. My documents, because why not? Although these have nothing, nor will they ever. And that's good. Ah, that's much better. Not a bunch of useless folders that don't do anything to look at. There we go, downloads. And then we launch this. Boom, boom, boom. I think this technically won't launch, which is fine. Yeah, C program files, Slippy Launcher is the right place to put it. Sure, you may install those. Ow. That reminds me that I need a copy of the game. I think I put it on this one. So it would be, like, it'd actually be really cool if it just runs totally fine. You know, like, the hardware is modern enough to just keep up with it. I'm worried about CPU performance, considering streaming OBS is like already kind of killing the system a little bit. Oh, and of course I don't have 7-zip on this yet. We'll get that too. Oh, oops, that's right. I keep expecting it to pop up with like the download, but I forget this one doesn't do that. Where's my download? There it is. Boom, 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 boom. Right, where? Like that. Not a valid Win32 application. That's funny. We also need to get was it this? Yes. See, this guy gets it. What does he build on? He builds on Windows 7. Why? Because you can't trust the system. Gotta go back to the past. We've gone too far. I think it's still gonna do that. Yeah, I gotta do the, I gotta go here. What? Huh. I had this working on the other one. I mean, the other one, it didn't take me any time at all to get working. I just said do it and it did it. But this one is not gonna let me do it, I guess. Can't imagine why. Dumb idiot. Boom. I didn't like that either. Hold on. It's enabled. Record a different version of Windows. I don't think I actually have to report a different version of Windows. I think I just have to enable it. Right? Probably. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Tell it to run with that enabled and it doesn't do anything. Oh, I probably have to restart. I'm willing to bet. Alright, well, I'm just gonna go do that. I'm also gonna... take this guy. I'm going to move him to the desktop. Then I'm gonna restart. Because it'd be pretty cool if I could just bring this one, you know? Like if it, because no one's playing Melee on this, we're just watching it, right? And so as long as it like, so like, you know, like a little stutter here or there isn't really that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. But if it's really stuttery, we're gonna have a problem. Whew. Okay. This we can just delete. This we can delete. Yes. And now we will restart. I will be back.